Hi guys, everyone hit the like button as you join. Welcome to Lennox Penny channel. Today we're looking at some vectors question for us people. Let's go. And it says relative to the origin O00, the position of the vector of the points A and B are OA, that's 90, and OB 3, 6 respectively. The points D and E are on AB and OA respectively, and are such that AD is 1/3 of AB and OE is 1/3 of OE. Guys, always make note of the information they give you. You're gonna use everything. Alright? The following diagram illustrates this information. Alright, so they tell you that it's illustrate this information, and clearly we can see this is the origin, and then we have OE, which is 90, which is to the right, and OB, which is 3, 6. So you got 3 across and then 3 up. Alright, because remember, with position vector, everything starts at the origin, which is 0, 0. Alright, so let's get right into this question. It says express the following vector in the form A, B. So you're gonna put in the form, so they want you to do the column form thingy. Let's go. So they ask for the vector A, B. Alright, so from A to B. So to get from A to B, what we need to do is to say OB, which is the last. So you just look at the order. So it would be OB minus OA. So OB is 3, 6 that was given. So OB is 3, 6. And remember, it's in the form of x, y. So this is our x value, while this is our y value. So we're going to subtract the x value from the x value. So OA is 90. So we just subtract now. So it's going to be 3 minus 9, and then 6 minus 0, which works out to negative 6. 3 minus 9 is 6, and then 6 minus 0, that is 0. So that's the vector AB. So we can say negative 6, 6. That's the vector E. Alright, so nice little question to start us off. Let's see what else they have in store for us. Computer lagging a bit. Alright, they ask us to find from O to D. O to D. So let's go back up. So we need to find from O to D. So this would be the vector that they're asking us to find. Which route can we take? We already know this, but we need to, we find this already. So 6, 0, we found this. So what we can do now is to find right here. I think that is very easy because they did told us that AD, which is from here to here, so we're going in this direction, very important, the direction. They did told us that AD is a 1/3 of AB. So it's 1/3. So all we have to do to find right here, we just find 1/3 of this actual measurement. So it's 1/3 of this, which is negative 6, 6. So we're going to divide both of them by 3. So it's negative 6 divided by 3 and positive 6 divided by 3, which is this 3 right here. Alright? Which gives us negative 2 and positive 2. So that is this little piece right here. Alright, what's the significance of this? Now we can go from O to A and then to A. So from OD remember we don't go directly with vectors. So to get to OD, we have to go, let me just write it as we go along. Hit the like button if you're just joining. So it's OD we're finding, the vector OD. It's gonna be OA. So we go from O to A. Remember the direction matters now, guys. Plus AD. Now both of them we are going with the arrow. Alright? So from O to A, that's 90. So we're going with the arrow. So it's positive, right? If we're not going with the arrow, then it's negative. Plus negative 2, 2. And again, we work out the top. 9 minus 2, this 9 minus 2 gives you 7. And 0 plus 2, which works out 2. So the vector OD is equal to 7, 2. And that would be our answer. Very nice questions, he said. Alright guys, so they asked us to find from B to E. So let's go back up to B to E. Computer, you're logging up. Anyway, we have to do what we have to do. So from B to E. So we know this measurement already, but we did need to know this, right? Now they did told us that OE, here, OE is 1/3 of OA. So this is gonna be 1/3 of OA, and OA is 90. All we have to do is to find 1/3 of 90, which works out to 30. So this part here is 30. While I work out that, guys, I'm gonna take this rule. This is probably the easiest rule to go from B to O. So I'm gonna go from B to O plus from O to B. Alright, so we're going against the arrow now. So the length of this is 3, 6. Let's put things in perspective. Alright, so I'm gonna add BO plus OE. Hope everyone following. Once you're going against the arrow, guys, once you're going against the arrow, it's negative. So I'm gonna put the negative outside, and then I have the 3, 6. Everyone should be getting straight A's as long as you're part of this channel. Well, with OE, we're going with the arrow, so we don't need to put a negative. Once you're going against the arrow, you have the negative. Alright, but once you're going with the arrow, you don't need. So let us simplify this. If you put the negative here, it's going to be negative 3 and negative 6 plus 30. So negative 3 plus that will give us 0, and then this will give us minus 6. So from B to O would be 0, negative 6. Sorry if it's not working down here, so, but you know, I like work where it is. So BE at 0, negative 6. What is that? Remember, what is the working is up there. Alright, so guys, let's proceed to another paper with another vector. Alright guys, so it says in the diagram below, OPQ is a triangle, ARB and AOQ are straight lines. E is the midpoint of PQ. So which is this? And they say R is the midpoint of AB. So R is the midpoint from A to B, and OR to RP. So this is OR to RP. So the ratio, they give us the ratio, and then they went on and say OP is equal to 4A. So from O to P. So let us just put things in perspective. And OQ from O to Q equal 8. And it's a find in terms of A and RB in its simplest form, PQ. Alright, so let us put things in perspective first of all. Remember, you guys are encouraged to try the question. Alright, so let us put in the information. It's step by step. In the diagram, that it says B is the midpoint, so B there is the midpoint of PQ. So already we know that it's going in this direction because it's set from P to Q. So the arrow should be in this direction. R is the midpoint of AB, so it's from A to B, so the arrow is going in this direction. And they say R is the midpoint, so this is the midpoint of AB. Good. OR, so from O to R, is in the ratio 1 to 3. So it's like that. Alright? And they went on and said this is OP is equal to 4A. So all of this is 4A. But remember, it's in the ratio 3 to 1. So that makes this 3A and this part A. So that's the first thing. And then OQ, so from O to Q, right here, is 8. And the first thing they ask us to do is to find PQ. So we want to find from P to Q. Alright, so P, I'm going to take the root. I'm trying to figure out if it was OP, they said OP. Oh yeah, OP. So from O to P, so the arrow is this way. That's what I was trying to figure out. Alright, so they say OP is 4A, so that means say also, right? And they say find PQ. Now PQ, so we want to go, we don't go directly as we have discussed. We go from this, so we're going to go PO plus OQ. So this is the rule that we're taking. PO plus OQ. Now, remember with vector, we have to check if we're going with the arrow or against the arrow. So OP, so we're going against the arrow now with PO. So it would be negative 4A because they did told us the measurement is 4A. And now we're going with the arrow from O to Q because they did told us that that's plus 8. Remember, this is vector, they don't leave the negative on, so let's just put the negative one inside. It would be 8b minus 4a. You can factor out the 4, show them so we write. So factor out 4, and then we have 2b minus a. That would be from P to Q. So that's the first thing that it asks us to find is from P to Q. Just put this in perspective. So. Alright, so that's PQ. We'll just put it in. I like to put it in. So it reminds me that at some point it probably become relevant again. And that is worth 1 mark. That's 1 mark. Alright, they ask us to find from P to R. So let me go back up. From P to R. So which route we're gonna take from P. This is P. Where is R? Alright, I think that is pretty straightforward. P to R. wouldn't that be just negative 3a since we're going against the arrow? Yeah. So this, they give us the measurement from R to P to be 3a. So from P to R will just be negative 3a. So this, that one almost got me like a little trick question, like I say, yo, this can't be so. It should just be minus 3a. Alright, let's see what else they ask us for now. From R to B. Let's go back up. R to B. Which route we're gonna take? R to B. So which for R? The R to B, which is right here. I'm gonna take this route. RB would have equal to RP. I'm gonna take this route plus RB. So I'm gonna take the root here. So RB, remember it's a vector RB. I'm gonna take this root from here to here. So that's RP plus PB. Alright, so we know the measurement from R to P is 3A. So let's put in that. So it's 3A. They did told us that B is the midpoint of PQ. So we're going with the arrow. So how we have to do now is just divide this by 2. Alright, so divide this by 2 and that should give us the answer. I'm going to just leave over here. So this should be 4 bracket 2b minus a divided by 2. So I'm gonna say 2 into this 1, 2 into this 2. So it's gonna be 4b minus 2a. That's a half of this, right? And it makes sense because we had gotten 8 and 4. So half of that will be 2b, 4b and 2a. So all we have to do now is just add these. So it's gonna be 4b minus 2. So what all we have to do now is group the like terms. So we have 3a minus 2a plus 4b. What up that over my place? And then this will give us a plus b. No, 4b, sorry. So this will be a plus 4b. And that will conclude this paper. Let's see if we can get our next paper to do the vectors in it. Alright, let's go, let's go. Alright guys, welcome back to the next paper. Alright, so it says the point A and A, B, and C are coordinates. So A is negative 2, B 4, 2, and C 0, 9. M is the midpoint of the line segment AB. Express each of the following in terms of in the form XY. Again, column vector, we want you to express it as. So if the point B is at 4, 2, that means, and they ask for OB is the position vector. So all we're gonna do, we're literally gonna take this 4, 2 right here. So B is 4, 2, and that's how easy C can be at times. And they wanted to put it in a column form, so you know X go up at top and Y do this, right? This is our X and this is our Y. Alright, so now they ask us to find the vector AB. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm just going to rewrite EA, which is 4 to OE rather, 4 to, well, that was B. No, that was B. And then OA would have been negative 2A. So we did one like this earlier, but it's two different years. So it's going to look like a repetition, right? So to find AB, we do OB. So it's a vector OB minus the vector OA. So let me put things in perspective. 4 2 minus 2A. So let's simplify it now. So we have 4 minus 2, and then we have 2 minus 8. Be careful with the sign, guys, alright? Once you have 2, once you have 4, these two negatives is going to become positive. So and then 2 minus 8. So our final answer would be 6. 2 minus 8, that's negative 6. So the vector AB would be 6. Negative 6. Very similar to the one that we did earlier, but it's different. Alright, let's see what else they asked us for. So they asked for AB. So they asked for now OM from O to M. O to M. So let's go back up to the chart. OM. So there wasn't any chart. So what they did? Oh, they say M is the midpoint of E. So O is the midpoint. M is the midpoint of E. So if AB is 6 and 6, the midpoint would be half of that, right? Half of each coordinate. So it's half of each. So it is 6 divided by 2 and negative 6 divided by 2. And that would give us 3 and negative 3. So that's the midpoint. And that is worth 4 marks. No, what they didn't ask for AM, that's AM. Oh, they asked for OM. So hold on, it's not finished yet. So OM, that's equal to OA plus AM. OA was what again? It was negative 2, yeah, it's negative 2 8 plus AM, which is 3 that we just calculated, negative 3. So our final answer would be negative 2 plus 3, that's 1, and 8 minus 3, that's 5. So that would be OM. Alright, let's look at this one. It says using a vector method, show that AC and OB are parallel. Now guys, you guys should do, I would suggest you draw it on the chart and so forth. Alright, but to show that it's parallel, one have to be a scalar multiple of the other. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna just try and prove it based on. So we have AC parallel to show that they're going in the same direction. Let's look at what AC would have equal. AC gonna be, alright, so we start with the last vector, so it's OC minus OE. So what's OC? Let's see. We just want to show sure that one we can multiply to get one to get the other. Alright, so OC, so that was 0, 9, so that's 0, 9. That was given minus OE. What was OA again? Let's go back up. OA, OA. Oh, see there, negative 2, 8, so it's negative 2, 8. Alright, so it's gonna be 0 minus 2 and 9 minus 8. Well, we've already see 2 marks minus 6. But this is gonna give us 2 and this equals 1. Right? And remember that AC was what? 4, 2, 1 was 4, 2. So yeah, can multiply and give us that 4, 2. That means it's parallel. Once 1 is a multiplication factor, it's parallel. So to prove it, this was the January 2016. Guys, we're gonna end here, so big up everybody. Thanks for watching. So I really appreciate you all. For those who might want to join my class, just leave my number. I hope you guys understand what they mean by parallel, right? So in the same direction. Right? So if AC is a scalar multiple of OB, then the two vector AC and OB are parallel. So you can multiply one to give me the next, then that it means they are parallel. Alright. So guys, thanks for watching. This is the announcement. Never get to do the matrices on this. However, I will be doing the matrices on a separate video, or I'm gonna do some more vectors along with the matrices. Alright, so big up everybody. Stay tuned. This is the announcement. I'm out. Without see you guys in another